fact, I need to mute that shit. Hey, we are live, I think.
Yes.
I'm trying to get back to my channel so I can see it.
Hello.
Hello. And I got Auntie Creeps with me and Ghost Mummy.
Hello.
They, of course, as you Twitter folks know, they are part of my little horror team, and I've done collabs with both of them. And
yes,
there's more to come. In fact, there's an episode I'm working on right now for my radio show, screamradio.com, we all know and love. And it has both of these fine ladies in it. So that'll be groovy. And I'm getting over here so I can see the chats and stuff. I usually ignore the chats. Auntie knows this well. She tries to keep me on it, but I usually blow it and end up playing with stuff over here and forgetting about it. But I'm going to try and keep an eye on it this time. Answer questions as they come in. Ha! There's Ralph. Oh, double feedback. I love that.
Hi, Ralph.
Go. Ha! You're all doomed. That's right. We all are, sir. That is a fact. And I'm going to go here.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, he is actually Scream Radio's #1 fan, I believe. Isn't that right?
I guarantee you he is.
Fucking right he is. Fucking right. That's why you got that bitch in hoodie. Also, he wrote the latest, I believe, unless Auntie's put another one out within the last couple of days. One of Jason's stories. It was actually pretty cool, too.
Oh, that was a really good story.
It was.
Yes,
it was a play on Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah,
and
that
it's
was
called
great.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, and I gotta say this, Madam Raven, she did that story first, and oh my God, I was so proud of Jason because, I mean, it's one thing if he writes a story and I'd do it. I mean, you know, he kind of wrote it, you know, thinking I'd do it, which I was gonna do it, you know, but I wanted to collab it, and I wanted to feature, you know, somebody new maybe, and and you know, I kind of him-hawed around, and I kind of felt bad. So I said, "Well, you need to post it to Reddit. You know, just post it, see what happens. I mean, you know, it's a writing community, and
right. I just got Reddit.
Yeah,
and I'm clueless.
Well, Madam Raven saw his story on Reddit, and she didn't even know who he was, you know. She just liked the story, and she asked him could she narrate it, and I was so thrilled for him. I was like, that is so cool, you know, with just a random narrative, because you know there's a lot of writers on Reddit that just never get seen, you know. And I pass over so many stories because a lot of them are terrible, but you know.
Yeah. And that's the thing too with writers is there's so many that are just not known and probably never will be known, and they're some of the best that's ever been, you know. Which is like anything, I guess. The world's greatest quarterback probably works at a fucking gas station, right? You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with writing, and I think that a huge part of that is simply people's fear to do it. I believe that there are a lot of people out there that have stories already that are just simply afraid to put them out there, because it takes a little bit of gumption to put your own actual brain out there. I mean, it's not, you know, somebody else's work that you can you could be like, oh well, the stories suck, you know. If it's all you, it's a little freaky, you know, and it can be intimidating for sure. I know that just doing what I do, you know, on that little radio program, it was nerve-wracking at first. It's super fun. I've always had a good time doing it, but yeah, it's a little weird putting yourself out there, especially the inside you know, as opposed to the stuff we all put on for everybody, you know. And they open that fucker up. Look at that, you know. They're like, oh my God. He truly is a sick person. But yeah,
I kind of felt
I
that
love
way
it.
when I put out that one story I wrote. I was like, I don't
Right?
know about this, but I'm going to do it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well,
No,
you know,
that
and
was
I
that
think
was a good
that's
story. That was a good
it
story.
was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
You
know
have
you
really
liked
great
it.
stories too, Ghost. You really do.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. You're a hell of a good
But
writer.
she is, and her video editing and all that skills are top shelf. She really does good stuff.
Dreamy.
Indeed.
Thanks. Thank you.
But yeah, I think that's the essence of horror, though, is pushing the envelope, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I actually, if you listen to my last episode, Auntie knows this because she's in our scream room. But I actually took a part out of that episode because it was too intense. I think for me personally, I think the crowd might have liked it, but I also think we might have got some calls into the principal's office about that one. But it was a personal choice for me. The scene needed to be done again, and I didn't want to do the scene again. It was it was therapy for me, and I got through it doing it the first time. I think I was like, I'm good, and so it got dumped. I left it out of there, but I think we all, that's our choice, right? Keep it or leave it, put it out there or don't.
I think
it's a crazy business.
With horror, I find that I found it difficult to write at first, and I still think I do to a certain degree. It's about pushing your comfort zone, going beyond your comfort zone, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
In a way, I think I'm bound by what's acceptable, if that makes sense. Whereas a lot of, some horror writers aren't, and I guess that's what makes them quite good, in that they don't allow the audience to dictate how far they should go. I'm pretty, I'm bound by realism. Does it sound realistic? I'm always saying to myself, does it sound too far-fetched? But what's too far-fetched in horror? Do you see my point?
Nothing.
And so
sparkly vampires.
Exactly. So I'm a little still. I mean, some ideas that people have come up with, or writers, or movies even. I'm thinking, oh my god, I'd be embarrassed to write that, or. But some are.
Right.
I'm quite jealous of. I think, wow, that's a brilliant idea. But I think I'm still restricted to a certain degree by what's acceptable. Maybe even what I'm comfortable with.
That's exactly what it is, because I mean, we've seen everything in the horror genre. There is no taboo. There's now there are stuff that's not common that you kind of have to look for, but it's out there. It doesn't matter how depraved, how disgusting, how horrific, it's out there. Somebody's done it.
I like
somebody touched on that subject.
I like psychological horror. I
do too.
Yeah, I prefer the horror that's sort of within us, human beings, in our minds. The fear we create from our minds, if that makes sense. Which I don't know how watchable that is. I mean, gore and slasher. Ooh, if it's not gratuitous, if it progresses the story, if it's necessary. But I don't like gratuitous violence just for the sake of the shock factor, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're bashing somebody with a bat, it should mean something.
For a reason.
Exactly.
Although.
Yeah. The splash blood, just to splash blood, is not scary. It's not. Yeah. And that's why I personally do like horror and do horror is the fear of it. It's a safe place to be scared. You know what I mean? You can get chased by deadly creatures and not be proper fucked at the end of the story. You know what I mean? You get to turn it off and go about your day, and that's what horror is about. I think it's people vent a lot of dark shit through horror, and we all have dark shit in us. There's tons of people that like to play, oh, not in me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's another thing about the commonality of life. Everything is vicious. Everything is cold-blooded. Everything has the ability to be everything, and we make choices moment by moment as to what we're going to be, then we weigh those moments. You know, are there more of these or more of these? You know, I like to keep an even balance. You know, when I'm nice to somebody, I'll go like kick a puppy or something. You know, just to keep it square. I would never kick a puppy, but
I know you wouldn't.
It's just a joke.
Yeah, I mean, Auntie Preet's story, Miranda. Yeah, am I correct, Auntie?
Oh yeah, the burning of Miranda. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the most painful deaths is burning, and I think the reason why your story struck a chord with me was because of the, you know, it actually happened. Witches were being burned in the Dark Ages. A lot of women who were just herbalists, or you know, tinkering with their little
or a woman that turned the wrong guy on, or a woman that owned land, or a woman that had money, or a woman that just got in the fucking way. That was
condemned to the most horrible deaths, and a lot of them were innocent. They weren't witches. So that was an interesting.
And even if they were, you know, what constitutes a witch and what is good or bad about them is just like anything else. Depends on that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Miranda waiting to die, that was quite, you know, the night before, I've often thought when people are going to be executed, it's that waiting, those last hours, and imagining what's going to happen to you. You know, that's kind of, you kind of get
into some real life horror out there.
Miranda wasn't in no suspense though, because she wasn't planning on dying the next day.
But remember, we put ourselves in her. I was putting myself in her position. Obviously, I have no magical power, so there's no get out clause. And you know, so that
I've seen your editing, so I disagree.
So that was the horror for me, the anticipation, even though I knew she was, you know, whatever. I don't want any spoilers, but then I found that really interesting, just thinking, oh my God, because I always sort of put myself in the position of the protagonist, you know?
Yeah.
With my lack of abilities, obviously, because I'm not Miranda. But no, I really enjoyed that story. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something kind of what we were going to discuss tonight about real life horror. I mean, sitting there waiting to get smoked, no matter what it is, execution or, you know, a crazy situation, some psycho with a knife or a gun on you, you know, any of that simple anticipation of what, right? That's got to be a trip, right?
Yeah. Real life horror.
Yeah.
Exactly, real life. And then there's, you know, horror, just life itself, you know. I was... God, I had been like 6, 7 years old, something like that. Saturday morning, right? You're home watching cartoons. I had the door open. It was always warm in the desert. And this was like into spring, so it was getting pretty warm. And I've got the door open, and this dog, stray mutt out of the desert, he was pretty ragged up. Super emaciated, not looking good, right?
Yeah.
And I'm an animal guy. I like critters, and so I go upstairs, grab some bologna, you know, and I'm home alone. My mom's either working or ruining some guy's life. It's hard to say when you're little what's really going on, right? But I ran up, grabbed some bologna, and he's still there at the door, so I threw him a piece. He ran away a little bit, comes back, gets the piece, takes the second piece, stays there. So I step out to pet him and step on his foot. Boom, he's gone. He thinks I'm hurting him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm not hurting you, buddy. Wait. So I'm chasing him, and I'm right behind him, and I don't even notice the road. And literally like 6 feet in front of me, pow, he gets wiped out by a truck. Just completely rolled under it, had all the sound effects and everything, right?
My God, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and it was horrific. But I'd seen shit get killed, you know, so it wasn't over the top for me. But it was sad that I had chased him out there, right?
Yeah.
And felt that it was my fault, right? So I'm sitting there watching this dog. It flipped him over to the side of the road. The guy that hit him just kept going. And I'm watching him, right? And that's when it came to me that 2 more seconds, I would have been the one in front of that truck, because I was not even looking. And we knew that road. It had taken a lot of stuff from us. And it was, I was seconds away from getting smashed myself. So that sat on me there until somebody came up. I think it was my uncle, seen me standing out there, came out to see what was going on. And we ended up shooting it, of course, and everything. So, but I mean, for me, the sounds, the sights, the realizations, all that, I mean, that's as real life far as it gets, especially
that's
for a
traumatic. For 6-year-old age, that is really traumatic.
Yeah, and I also remember I was never really afraid of cops or anything. And we always were around guns, so it wasn't that either. But when that cop drew his gun to pop that dog, something in me freaked out. It was like I knew he was going to shoot me too, because I chased him out there, right? So that was another real life horror aspect to it.
You thought the cop was going to shoot you as well as the dog.
Yeah, he shot him twice. And then he was turning, just to talk to us. And it was just that moment. I just knew it, dude. I was like, I'm fucked too, man. Watch. But he put it back in the holster and zipped her up. So I was like, sweet. But there was 4 or 5 immediate aspects of that event. And it was relatively fast. The whole thing was probably 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
But it stretched out, how it does. It feels like days. And probably the longest part was when he went under the truck. It just frame by frame, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's real life horror. And I'm sure that's ended up in a couple of my stories. It always manifests itself in different ways in a story, but I think that's what we do as horror creators, is we
pull from real life shit. Something from I think a little bit of ourselves is in our stories. It can be a tiny bit, it can be a big bit, but I think we do draw, they say write about what you know.
That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah. And it may not be.
And that's not why I write about cannibalism.
But no, it wouldn't be the cannibalism, eating human beings, but there's something I don't know, there's something that of ourselves in our stories. It can be the smallest thing, or it could be, art imitating life. But I do believe it. That actually reminds me of a story. When I was 13, when I was young, my father, we lived in England, and then my dad took us overseas for a while. And in this particular country, they felt it was good luck to run over dogs. So they'd literally go out of their way. Yeah, they'd go out of their way to.
What a strange custom.
So I remember when we were driving along, I was about, 10 or 11, and I saw this dog was crossing the road, and I saw this car swerve and hit that dog. And I can still remember how it was horrible. It hit it, and it mangled the poor animal. Its legs were this way and that way, and I was really traumatized by that. So I can imagine at 6 how you must have felt, because it just stuck in my head for so long. I was just going over the pain of the animal. Did it die? Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. Yeah. You just actually put that memory back.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's just a long time ago, but it's just,
Yeah, but it's crazy how those things imprint. I mean, it stays there in one way or another, I think. Mm. I think the more we see horrific, the more we get a bit calcified, and can take more. And I think that's part of what horror is too, is it gives people an opportunity to get in there and see and feel that kind of stuff without the trauma side of it. Yeah. Mm. Something about knowing that it's not real, right?
Yes.
Even when we talk about real horror, you know, like the dog stories, both just now for our listeners out there, you know, that it's not as real. As you told that story, it was there for you, you know, and as I told the story, it was back there for me again. But to the listener or reader, whatever it is with horror, they can go to those places, see it, feel it for a little bit, and then get back out. Like I said,
away,
you know, instead of being stuck with that shit, right?
Yeah.
And I've got some other stories I could get into, but I think we'll just stick with one for each stream.
So, is that your story? You done? We're not going to give us any more?
Pretty much, yeah. Dog got crushed. Cop
That's
shot
it. I was expecting you to give us loads.
Yeah, I mean, I can get into other ones, I guess, but that was pretty much the end of that story. It haunted me for probably 2 or 3 days, for sure. But I was also kind of a cold-blooded little shit. I get over things really fast. And you know how kids are, you just move on, you know?
Yes.
And I've always been good at just kind of walking away from shit that bothered me. So I got over it fairly quick, but it definitely shaped, you know, anything like that leaves a mark. No matter how you get over it or how you cope with it, it's going to leave its mark.
Yes.
Yeah, anything horrific like that. I've seen a car crash on Highway 66 that was brutal. A station wagon full of old ladies. There's 5 of them in there, I believe. Got T-boned by a truck.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah. Highway speed truck. Poosh! And it hit them. Dead bing. Made a T. And killed them all pretty much instantly. The one in the middle back was wiggling around for a little bit, for a while, but it didn't last very long. And of course, this is the 70s, so there's no cell phones or any shit like that. We sat out there for a while. Did you stop?
Sorry, if you don't mind if I ask you a question.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
bet,
stop?
Yeah.
Did you stop?
Yeah.
You know, when
my grandma, there was really nowhere to go. It was right in front of us, and it took up pretty much the whole road.
How old were you? About
9, 8, somewhere around there. Yeah, I was raised on Highway 66, so
yeah,
it was right up the road from my house, and we'd gone out and turned to head to the store, and the very next turn off, we seen that blue station wagon just turn. They didn't stop, look, nothing, just turned, and there was a big rig right in front of us, and pow. He tried to stop, but you know how it goes with those guys. I ended up driving trucks later on in life, so I totally get it. He had no choice. They were just right there in front of him. But now there's a horror we can talk about. That guy has to live with that, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. He was just doing his job, but right? Smoked out 5 of them. So, yeah, that had to sit with him.
Are you talking about one of those big 18-wheeler trucks?
Mm-hmm.
That's what went into that car.
Yeah, and it destroyed it. Cars back then were tough as shit too. That was Detroit steel, and it scattered that fucking thing like just pieces.
Yeah,
chunks of it, blew it apart, and threw them all out of it. Yeah, it was fairly horrific. One of them went under it. It was gnarly. Yeah, it was hardcore. That one stuck with me too. But like I said, I was, I don't know. We've seen a lot of shit as kids, so that just stopped bothering me, you know. And our habit was to go out in the desert and blow shit away with our guns anyway. So we were just bloody little bastards, and me and most of my friends were like that. But nonetheless, there's aspects of that particular wreck that probably always going to be there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That one old girl still moving around in that car. I can still see that pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Right. like super
Yikes.
clear. I can see the bend in the B pillar where it smashed in and just caved the whole car in. And I remember tripping out that how she stayed in there. You know what I mean? When it just looked like nothing could be in there, right? And once again, kid brain, you know, you think things different. You see it a little bit different when you're a little guy.
Yeah.
You don't understand the physics of a crash, you know?
Yeah.
But it boggled my mind that those 5 old birds were alive, and just like that, they were greasy spots on the road, you know what I mean? Scattered everywhere. And you've all seen animals hit. I mean, it's pretty hardcore. And when it's one of those trucks, that's 85, 90,000 pounds of truck, right? Doing like 65, 70 miles an hour. And he grabbed his brakes, but he probably only slid for maybe 29 feet, 35 feet, something like that. So he may have slowed down 6, 7 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Ping! It just was like a technicolored explosion of metal and pieces of those girls and pieces of the front of that truck. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
The thing with me is that, you know, I'm quite sensitive. So even if I've met somebody, you know, somebody says, oh, do you know that lady that sells stuff in the shop, you know, she's shop assistant. If something happened to her, I'd feel it. Oh, I'd feel it badly. And you just reminded, you keep bringing these memories back. Again, when I was...
I'm terrible like that.
I know. When I was in secondary school, I think you call it high school in America. Oh,
yes.
I was about 14. There was this little boy that used to hang around our school. He was so cute. And I used to talk to him and stuff sometimes and do golf and play or whatever. And one day I remember coming to school and they said, oh, do you know that little boy? And I said, yeah. They said he got crushed by a, you know, a petrol tanker. It fell off the truck or whatever it is, and fell off the little man. He was only about 5 years old, and it crushed him. And I was traumatized. I didn't see it happen. I don't think I would have recovered if I'd seen it happen, but it crushed him. And one thing I learned, you know, living in a third world country for a while, was how life is here today and taken tomorrow, because life in third world countries is very tenuous, especially for young ones, for children. It's and for me at that young age, it was because I was, you know, initially raised in the West. We weren't exposed to anything like that. So then to be taken to a third world country and to see people dropping like flies, you know, oh yeah, did you hear about this guy died yesterday? Like, for instance, there was one chap that we used to go to school with, and see the guy today, hi, bye. Next day, oh, he drowned.
Right.
You know, it was just, you just never knew who was going to be taken, which I don't find in the West is as much as in a third world country.
It depends on your situation and location.
It would.
There's some dirt poor places here where kids are dying of the flu because they can't afford to go to a doctor. Or they can't afford the proper medicine to fix the time they did get to go to the doctor. You know
I think England is very sanitized. The UK is very sanitized. Everything is very clean and proper over in the UK. We have the NHS, so nobody goes without treatment. You know, everybody's quite, So I suppose
that's a discussion I've had with a lot of my UK friends that literally just can't believe some of the stuff we go through, you know, as a that just wondering, you know, if you do get sick, you're screwed. You know, I have brain damage and I've had to go to a bunch of doctors and everybody's like, no way. It's like, they want tens of thousands of dollars to do anything for you, you know? So a lot of people just go without. Dental, same way. A lot of people, I've pulled one of my friend's tooth out with a pair of pliers myself, and right, It was cool. Okay, it was cool. But I'm a professional dentist, and I've known other people that have pulled their own teeth just because they couldn't afford to go to a dentist. Simple as that. Another real life horror. You know, you got something wrong with you. You know something's wrong with you, especially if it's big. You know, your body tells you stuff, and then you can't afford to get it fixed, right? You just got to sit there and hope it goes away, pretty much. You know? That's a very real thing that happens here quite a bit. I got mad respect for your guys' healthcare setup. There's no reason we can't do it. We have more than enough money to take care of our people. I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal. It really should. You know what I mean? The money we waste on stupid shit would take care of it. And yes, you're going to have people who are lazy and don't work, even if they can, you know, that are going to be leeching off the system. But for me, I'd rather pay for those people to take care of one or two of those kids out there that just need a hand, need some medical attention, you know, especially if it's basic shit that turns into something gigantic. You know, tooth infections can actually go to your brain and kill you. Or cause irreversible brain damage, right?
What, that still happens in America? That can happen to someone?
Oh yeah. If you ain't got insurance or coin,
see
ya. Especially dental. The dental's a hard one to get, even when you do have insurance. But yeah, if you're a poor person, simple as that, your teeth are fucked up. You can't afford to get them fixed, and it's crazy prices. Like I've had this tooth right here got split in half in a fight ages ago, and they want $1,400 to $2,000 to fix it, and I'm like, I can still chew steak with it, so fuck you. I ain't paying that much. That's crazy, man. But that's the reality of where we are, and your guys' reality is everything.
They started the NHS back in the 1940s after the Second World War. It's been going for years. I mean, it's not something they started yesterday.
Right. Yeah, Canada does it. All the big countries do it. All modern countries take care of their people. But for us, it's capitalism, baby. If it doesn't make a profit, we're really not interested in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to slam us and everything. That's just reality. That's a fact. That's a fact, you know. So it sucks,
obviously, if they would just legalize weed everywhere, people wouldn't have to go to so many doctors.
Well, look, that's a good discussion too. If the taxes alone off of that could pay off our national debt. Think about that. It's the #1 cash crop in the world, marijuana. And like I said, we've all, as a people, have been using it for so long, it's part of us, you know, or God created us that way that it's part of us. We have cannabinoid receptors throughout our entire body. So,
but do you think the government's getting more money from the pharmaceutical companies than they would ever from the, you know, taxing the average man on the street?
Well, that's what they used to think. But now now that we have it legal in some states, they're starting to realize that, holy shit, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there smoking weed now.
Yeah, their economy is booming, I've heard, the ones that have legalized it.
Oh, indeed. Washington, Colorado, they're right here around me, and they're doing quite well. Their streets are in good shape. Their schools are top shelf. They've got schools up there where damn near every single kid in every classroom has their own setup for, you know, computers and that kind of thing. They're literally, Denver gave its citizens back money. They were like, God damn. The money involved in it is crazy. Think about alcohol, how much money they generate. Weed's the same way.
That's the argument over here is about, you know, alcohol. They say, well, I don't really know. I don't drink at all. Not for any reason other than I can't stand the taste of alcohol. But they say that alcohol causes more aggression, crimes than weed ever would. They've never really, arrested anybody on weed for being.
That's a fact.
Beating up someone, So.
Also, nobody smokes a bowl and goes out and kills a family of 5 in a head-on collision. Just doesn't happen,
No, it don't. It really don't.
Yeah. And they want it to, so that they can say, "Oh, look at the bad marijuana," but it's just not. It's not the reality. Also, it is nonviolent, and I can attest to the fact that a lot of people get violent on alcohol. I do myself. I don't drink anymore very much because of that reason. I just turned into a monster. And
do some alcohol at Christmas. I usually drink a little bit of Bailey's cream.
Nice.
I just like the creamy taste, but I tell you, I just couldn't be bothered this year. I just thought, I can't be bothered. It's expensive. Why am I going to waste my money? I don't even like the taste. I don't like the the hit it gives you.
Right.
I like the taste, but I don't of the creamy texture, but I don't like that fuzzy kind of feeling it gives me. So I passed it by this Christmas.
Right.
I don't know
I'll drink here and there.
I beg your pardon?
I said I drink every now and again, but I don't get drunk.
No, I mean it's okay. It's just I don't really particularly care for the taste, but I wonder what kind of drinker I would be.
There's only one way to find out. But I was always good and happy and jolly until something triggered me. And that could literally be, somebody looking at me, or a sound, or a man got too close to me. You know what I mean? So, and I'll just, and so, I spent decades like that, and finally just stopped, quit cold turkey one day, and didn't have anything for years. And now, like I said, I can have a couple of beers here and there, and I just stop myself because it will defo go bad if I get shit faced.
Yeah.
Auntie,
do you have an odd tipple now and again?
I've got I don't drink much anymore. Hardly ever, actually. I'll drink a glass of wine every once in a while, or I had some champagne on New Year's Eve. But I was just remembering a story from my younger, wilder days. And we was having this house party. Me and my best friend, we were roommates. And I don't know, we were just having a party. And somebody handed me a damn glass of moonshine, which I was already buzzed really good, and I'd never had it before. And I went into the only blackout I've ever had while drinking. Really? I don't know what I did. I had no idea. But from all reports, I was acting possessed. Like people was expecting my head to start spinning. I was like yelling at everybody, telling everybody they suck. I mean, I don't know I was being horrible. I came out of it in the middle of my best friend beating my ass in the yard. She was beating me up because I was so obnoxious.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens too, don't
it? Yeah. And I was too messed up to even try to fight back. I didn't even know she was mad at me. I was like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, I woke up a few times all beat to shit. It's like, what happened? All your friends are pissed off at you.
Yeah, like, yeah.
What did I do? You were being manimal. It's like, oh, right.
Well, that sounds scary, to black out like that and not know what you're doing.
It was scary. I mean, it was like there was just this space of time that I don't remember anything. I mean, I remember flashes. Like I remember walking in the street, like I don't remember what, but just flashes. But yeah, I had to hear about it the next day from everybody about what I did, and I'm like, oh my God, stop talking.
Right? Yeah, I've blacked out many times. Mm. I woke up in other towns.
What?
This doesn't look like my neighborhood.
Where am I?
Wow. I'm in Barstow.
Oh, no,
Holy
God.
fuck.
That's scary. No, that's scary.
Yeah, when
I
I
used
got
to
to be
hitchhike around
about.
a lot.
Used to
when I
go
was a
get what?
kid.
Sorry? Say
Hitchhike.
No, go ahead. No, go
Grab
ahead.
rides. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
And,
dangerous, isn't it? Hitchhiking. That's kind of dangerous. No?
It had its moments.
But remember, my experiences are mostly like when Auntie says moonshine, I'm thinking prohibition. Your prohibition?
Yeah.
American prohibition.
Well, you're actually right.
know
The
my
name
history, yeah.
moonshine comes from they cooked it at night, so the revenue boys couldn't see the smoke rising out of the hills.
Oh, right.
Oh, I didn't
That's why
know
it's called
that. I
moonshine.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why
Wow.
they,
Yeah.
okay.
I still drink moonshine.
Can't it turn you blind though or something?
I'll never go near that shit again. I tell you what.
Yeah. You can go blind on it.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. So basically, the prohibition.
I've done it several times.
That's your history, isn't it? Prohibition in the 1940s. They
20s, late 20s and 30s. Yeah.
Okay, so they banned alcohol completely in the United States, or was it just moonshine?
All alcohol. It was against the law, and everybody kept doing it anyway. And it's also one of the most violent periods for civilians in our history because people killed for it, killed to stop it, killed to keep it.
Wow.
Everybody was killing it. The revenue officer back then was a dangerous human being. They had the right to blast you down and destroy your product because alcohol was sinful. And it just doesn't work. No prohibition works on anything. There is no ban that has ever existed that functions because laws are created to punish after the fact. Simple as that. No law has ever stopped anything from happening. Never in the history of laws. They're there to provide a punishment for the sin itself or the indiscretion, whichever. And that's where bans just don't function. And every time you make something illegal, you open up a black market for it because, especially vices, prostitutes, people fuck, shock, people fuck. They like doing it. Drugs and alcohol, people like getting fucked up. Period. So any of those things, you're never going to stop it. You're never going to curb it. You're never going to change it. All you can do is punish folks for it or accept people for who and what they are. And that would also provide a place, a world where people could be accepted. You know, a lot of labels get thrown around by people due to their own specific morale code. And that's great. You have your own code, but everybody's is different. If we could just accept that and leave people the fuck alone for having their own deal, then goddamn, it'd be such a cool place, man. We'd all get along, you know?
Okay, I have 3 more real life horror stories.
Outstanding.
All right on.
Yeah, okay. One I'm not going to go into detail. It was what you would call in America home invasion.
Oh, those scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, so I'll just briefly, my parents were almost killed, but thank God they weren't. I was 15 at the time, so that one was pretty traumatic. But I won't go into details about that. Again,
that's traumatic at any point.
Yeah, all this is happening in this third world country. So but the one I will tell you about is I was on my way to school, and we had a driver, so he'd drive us kids to school. And I was just at the corner, he was going to turn, and I saw this body lying in a puddle of water. And he was burnt beyond recognition. And his body had a tire around it.
Oh, good Lord. I've heard of that.
I said to the driver, what happened to him? And he said, he was probably trying to steal. So for instance, this is what would happen. If you stole an apple or bread or, I don't know, pickpocket somebody and somebody saw you do it, they'd raise the alarm and then they'd grab you and then they'd put a tire around you and they'll set you alight. And that's what I saw, the remnants of the body. So
and that's so the tire, because tires burn so hot and long?
I guess, yeah. So that was when I was about 13. I just started.
I'm not trying to analyze it.
Yeah. So that was when I was 13, and it wasn't like the driver said, "Oh, that's so traumatic for you. Let's take you home." No, so let's go to school. So that was just buzzing around in my head.
Very matter of fact, right?
Yeah, because that's the way life was there. So onwards to school. So he just turned the corner like it was nothing, because that's what he's seen, and off to school I went. And then I saw, there's actually 2 more stories briefly. I saw, and this is the first time I realized that human bodies bloat. You know, you die, and if it's your body's left out, especially in the heat, your body just starts to expand with the gases. And I saw this bloated body in the streets, and I was like, wow. And they're not very, but they don't have sort of like in that country, they didn't have health and safety. You know, bloated bodies lying in the street are not the best, but it wasn't every day you saw them, thank God. But yeah, that was another situation. And then another one was when I was 10. And we just arrived there, and I was looking out the window, and I saw loads and loads of people running past the window. And I was like, wow, where are they going? And I saw a friend of the family running past, and I stopped and I said, where are you going? He said, oh, there's going to be a public execution on the golf course.
On the golf course?
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a public firing squad. So obviously I'm 10, I'm not going. So I just went back inside, and that night on TV they televised it, and I'll always remember, sorry to get a bit graphic, but it sticks in my mind till today, them shooting the guy. I think there were 3 men, and they were executed on circumstantial evidence. So it's circumstantial evidence. It wasn't definitive that they had committed the crime. I remember my dad saying that. And then they shot them. And it was one of them in particular just wasn't going to die. He just kept turning as the bullets were hitting him. And I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, what are we doing here? You know, and my mom said to my dad,
not playing golf.
Yeah, you know, my mom said, like to my dad, oh my
Hole
God,
in one.
why did you bring us here? Yeah. So yeah, I saw a lot of death. I saw a lot of death there at an early age.
Cool.
That's insane.
We were there for 10 years. I can't say everything.
Eric Handy's here. I totally forgot to look at the chats again. What's up, Eric? That's cool. Thanks for showing up.
Golf course execution. They also used to execute them on the beach as well. So if that's the kind of entertainment you wanted, then that it was there. I don't think they do it anymore, though. I don't actually think. I think they're more private. I don't even. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but that's in different parts of the world. Different crazy things go on, and that's
very true.
That's my horror stories. I think I've outdone myself today.
That was some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Auntie, apart from your moonshine, that was horrific. I must admit.
That was pretty horrific.
That was a horror story there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's real life horror. That's exactly what we were talking about. Things that mark us, right? And I also think people who have seen it in real life, that, you know, real evil has touched in one way or another. I think that probably most horror creators have something in their past like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I can't say that I've written about any of those things in particular, but I think, yes, that somewhere, some parts of us are definitely in our stories, you know. It's interesting, actually.
Yeah, and I think that's where I say I think it's a venting of sorts, a therapy, if you will, for it is when I write. You know, I go into these darker places from when I was younger and fish things out, you know, that I'm comfortable sharing, and somehow weave that into the story, right? And it's a way of getting it out and away from me, you know. It doesn't work. I'm still fucked up. But it's definitely a therapy of type. You know, it helps us. It's a vent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think that darkness, like I said, it's in everybody. It's just the more that we've seen it in real life, I think the more it triggers it, you know. It's just like violence. People that's not been around violence, you know, a fist fight will freak them out. They get all shaky and don't know how to deal with it and shit, you know. And people that were around it, I'll sit there and drink a beer as long as they ain't spilling my shit. You know, because it's just used to it, you know. It's not something, it wasn't outstanding to see somebody get punched in the face or something, right? It was just everyday stuff. So it's what we know. Horror, and that's another thing, horror is different for everybody on different levels. For some people, a single watching a guy get his nose broke, you know, is pretty horrific. It's freaks a lot of people out. Then there's other people that it's like, you're in the way of the football game, you know. Go get beat up over there, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's what we're used to and what we've been calloused to. Fuzzums McFuzzface. Hi everybody. Hey you. How's it going?
Oh, hi Fuzzums. How you doing? Welcome.
Hello, Fuzzums.
Eric Handy is an author. I've bought his book, and you can find him on Twitter under Eric Handy. And,
okay.
Go see his stuff. He is a horror writer as well. Probably knows a lot about what we're talking about right now. And shucks. Eric's groovy people. He was one of the first people that I really ended up hanging out with, interacting, that was an author on Twitter. And went and bought his book, and we've been hanging out. He likes my crappy tweets and stuff, so he's a groovy person. You guys should go follow him, anybody who's not. And he's great to interact with, too. Talk to him. He is
I'm gonna go follow him now, actually, because before I forget.
Cool. Yeah. He'll totally talk to you back, no matter how big he
already
gets.
be, but I'll check.
I am following him. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm following him.
Hi,
cousins. How you doing, love? How are you? Welcome. Yeah, I put a little
welcome, Eric.
message on my Facebook, my Ghost Mommy Facebook. Is that where you saw it, Fuzzums? Yeah. Thanks for coming, love. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Me and Eric Handy's following each other.
Nice,
cool.
Nice. Yeah, he's a horror writer, so I'm sure everybody's touched on it at least. And I retweet his stuff and like his stuff. So yeah, he's
because I want to do some more reading. Apparently reading makes great writers, so I'm gonna go and have a look at where can we get your books?
I agree with that 100%. Reading, especially reading, right? Not just reading one author or one type of thing. I think if you're gonna write, you should find as big a variety as you can of stuff.
Absolutely.
I've sat and read like any words, manuals, stuff like that. How do they lay the words out? What's the format? Because I have no training whatsoever. Everybody once again is like, oh really? You know, but I don't know how to structure a sentence and that. I don't have much education at all. I quit school in like the 8th grade, which is 13 to you UK folks. I don't know what school that is.
What age did you leave?
13.
13 is like middle school.
Yes, that would be your first kind of year. Over here, that would have been your first year in secondary school. So that would have been year 9. Yeah, I mean, listen, I did my A levels in university, but I don't think I was paying much attention during English class. That's for sure.
Yeah. I just had other stuff to do, you know.
Yeah.
Go to school, but so I read everything to show me how it's done. Even the hard stuff. That was one thing I did do in school. I read a lot, even from when I was tiny. Great grandma made us read the Bible twice, and it was not a fucking option. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I don't feel like reading it tonight. Auction, you read it and you understood it because questions were asked about it, that kind of thing. So to me, it was, books are easy after that. I mean, goddamn, it took me years both times, right? So, but it also gives me and I'm not recommending the Bible or anything. I'm not a Bible person. Sorry, no offense to anybody who is. I'm just not. But it's a book. It's a big fucking book and has a lot of big words in it. And it's also structured properly. So I think even if you're not into the religious aspect of it, it's a book. It's an old book. So any book is good to read. Moby Dick, that's a tough one. It's hard to read. But you get through that thing a couple of times, your mind works in a reading manner, right?
Yeah.
I think anyway.
Hello, Madam Raven. Madam Raven's popped on.
Hello, Madam Raven.
Crazy Ralph has been there from the beginning. Thanks, guys, for coming. We appreciate it.
Yep. We do. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to do more of these on and off. I know I was doing them there for a little bit and then just kind of dropped off of it. Why? Don't know. But we will do more of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably promote them better. I've known this was coming for 3 fucking days, and I only tweeted it like 2 hours before.
Yeah.
It's like, nope. So, yeah, we'll have to work on that. Next one, we will make it easier for the UK folks to be here.
Yeah.
Ghost is a trooper, guys.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'll see her in the morning.
I did get a few hours sleep. I did get a few hours
yeah, you did get that nap in, so that was cool. But I'll see her like early in my morning, writing, editing something, and then way later on in my afternoon when all of the UK is asleep, I'll see her pop on there. Oh, I'm still editing. It's like, Jesus Christ, lady. She is a trooper. But it shows in her work.
Thank you.
That's another thing. Anybody in here that's not following Ghost Mommy and hasn't been to her YouTube channel, do so now. And sub that.
Absolutely.
She's awesome. She's awesome. And same with, you bet. And same with Anti Creeps. They are both super talented narrators and creators all together. So right on. Do that.
Thank you. That's sweet of you. Thank you very much.
Oh, listen, I'd like to give a quick shout out to, now that she's in here, to Madam Raven. I encourage everybody to go listen to her narration of Crazy Ralph the 13th story of Hansel and Gretel. She did it first. She did it first, and she did it amazingly. And she did both voices, which is ironic because that's what I usually do, but I just happened to turn it into a collab. So, but anyway, I wanted to shout her out for that. So
I'm definitely going to go.
Awesome stars.
She noticed my pal Jason's story, and I think that's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Fuzzums. Yeah, I love to hear stories that have been done by 2 different narrators to see. You get a different feel, for sure. It might be the same story, but you kind of get a different feel.
Yeah.
So it never really gets old, even though, you might have heard the story before. But if another narrator does it, it just gives it a different feel. So I'm definitely going to, because I love the story, I'm definitely going to go listen to Madam Raven's version.
She did a great job. I was really happy. I was happy to hear that.
Yeah. Hi, Mr.
And I agree with that too. You
Hi, Mr. Extremes.
Hey, you can really get the meat of a story by hearing it done twice, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because you're not only getting those 2 versions from each different person, but the story's still there. So you can look at it from both ways, and what's left is the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm having somebody chatting right here trying to get in here, and they cannot.
Hi, Mr. X. How you doing? Mr. X actually just had a live stream, didn't you, Mr. X? I caught half of it, and then I came on here.
Well,
do we have a delay?
I think everybody just got quiet.
yeah. I was trying to send this link.
We need more real horror.
Yeah.
I've told loads, haven't I?
Yeah, you did a great job, and yours were absolutely horrific. So that's a good I got one. Me and wife were heading home one night. We just went shopping. I got my oldest son in the back seat of my 1972 Cadillac Eldorado 500 cubic inch engine in. Yeah. Anyway, we're going home, and we see a fire. Now, I grew up in the world's largest trailer park. Trailers strewn all over the desert, right? Trailers burn like tinder boxes. They go up really fast, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So if you see any evidence of one going up, you want to get there quick if you want to see anything worthy of looking at, because it goes really fast. So we see smoke, and I dart over there, and it's a smaller trailer, and it's going up pretty quick. And the neighbor comes running over to me, and he says, there's a guy in there. And I'm like, are you sure? And he says, yeah. Well, a cop comes walking up behind me. I never heard him pull up. And he asks what's going on. And I'm like, there's a guy in there. So we run to the back of the trailer, and the cop grabs a brick and throws it through the fucking window.
Yeah.
If the guy is in there laying in bed, he just beamed him out, right? I mean, it's a fucking cinder block, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is it sucked the air down that trailer hallway, and it blew out the window probably 6 feet, solid flame, boosh, as it just enveloped that whole trailer.
Is that what they call a backdrop? Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
feed when you give it off. You feed the
fire.
Yeah,
it was like a chimney, yeah. And the fire was in the front of the trailer, but as soon as that window popped, it just sucked it out of there and lit the whole place up. Now,
he basically killed
totally. But he was going to go anyway because there was no back door to that place. And, the trailer was probably from the late 50s or early 60s. He just had no shot. The smoke had probably already got him.
Yes.
But I pulled the cop back when I seen the flames coming, and we stood there probably another less than a minute, and you could smell it, right?
Smell what?
Him inside there cooking.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was crazy because you could still smell the toxic shit, right? The paneling, metal heating up, all that. But there was that undertone there of barbecue, right?
Wow.
And the cop realized what it was. Har. He lets go right then and there.
Oh.
Couldn't take. Yeah, it was pretty horrific. Wife stayed in the car. She does not function well with those things at all. Probably doesn't even remember it. She deletes shit like that because she is not a horror fan at all. Hasn't seen a lot of horrific shit either. So she is not one of the calloused ones like us. But she was not happy. Wanted to go home. But yeah, it was fairly horrific. Yeah, but like I said, whether he broke that window or not, that guy inside was not coming out of that trailer. But what the cop did was almost burn his own face off when he tossed that brick through there. So yeah, but it was intense.
Mr. X wants to know what you were doing there.
Oh, we were driving home from the store and seeing the smoke, and just drove to it. I always go, you see something happen and you go see what's up. And
apparently there's a bit of a delay from England. There's a bit of a delay. Is there a delay for you guys? Manimal?
I just heard you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a...
From the UK?
Yeah, if I turn my sound on what I'm watching, it's delayed out.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super intense.
There was a story you told me the other day.
That's fire safety training, right, Eric? No shit.
Yeah.
It was a bad idea. It was a really bad idea. And I myself had seen a couple of trailers burn. They're tubes. I mean, it's just a fucking chimney laying on its side, you know?
Yeah.
Not to mention the desert. The wind's always blowing. So it was a fire tunnel, and it was quick. Trailers burn up quick anyway, especially the old ones. Newer ones aren't as bad. But yeah, the old ones, poof. That's another one. 2 kids, 2 roads up from me. Their mom locked them in their room because they were wild kids, and she went to sleep, woke up to smoke. She bailed out her window. They didn't. They were locked in their bedroom. Yeah. Now I seen the smoke on that one, and I was home with my kids, so I stayed there. But yeah, we knew both of those kids, and
horrible.
Being as we'd just had a little dude, my wife was pretty shaken up over that one.
Yeah.
That one affected her pretty hardcore. But like I said, she's not used to stuff like that. So the few things that when she got into my world, she was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You are a freak of nature. But yeah, she's seen a few things hanging with me. But yeah, she doesn't like it. She does not respond to it very well. Because she's a beautiful person.
She is.
She is. She is the best person I know. But yeah, there's now I can smell it. Right on the buzz face. Yeah. Had it was definitely cooking meat, you know. Smell it. But crazy night. Did some drinking that night too.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I drank every night. I was probably drunk when I showed up there. But yeah, that was horrific. Ooh, train hit a car. Saw the aftermath of that. That was pretty gnarly. Yeah, that was worse than the old ladies in the station wagon.
Really?
It just literally scattered that car, man. Scattered it. It was not even discernible as a car. It was chunks of white metal. Yeah. And a tire. You could see one of the wheels was off to the side. But yeah, drove by on the highway next to it. It was crazy.
What about the people?
Nobody made it. Teenage girls too.
Oh.
Yeah. I went to school with them, but didn't really know them. But I'd hung out with the one a couple of times. But yeah, Gonzo went around the fucking barrier. Ha! That's like, wow.
So the barrier had come down, and the kids decided.
Yep, both of them had dropped. They didn't want to sit there, so she tried to drive around it. Took it right in the nose. So, can you imagine seeing that coming? You're like, don't. Huge error. Huge error. But yeah. Trains never swerve and hit you. They're always on those little metal strips, yeah. So,
yeah.
Stay the fuck off of them. God damn.
Yeah.
I never understood it. People getting hit by train, man. It's like
people are always getting hit by trains too.
Yeah. It happens a lot. It's nuts. It's crazy.
They're just, I think most of the time it's just people trying to get across the track before they don't want to be stopped for like 5 minutes, so they end up killing their damn self.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nuts, man. They like I said, they're always in the same place.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy to stay the fuck out of their way. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let me tell you a real horror story, but it didn't happen. I didn't see it. It didn't happen to me. So my boss, he's kind of like an older guy, and he's a widower. Is what widow? Mm-hmm. Widow is what you call
male. Yeah.
Widower. Sorry, not a widower.
It's both. Widower. Male or female. Widower.
Is it a widow now? Both of them?
Yep.
What was it originally?
A widower is someone who lost their spouse, male or female.
Oh, okay. All right. So he was a widower or widow, whatever, and his wife had died. So we never really knew the context or how she had died. So one day, after I got to know him a little better, he said that he was walking home one day and a bus. We have these big double-decker buses in London.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it was obvious that there'd been an accident and the bus had gone over someone, and he could see the woman's legs sticking out. Anyway, he got home, his wife wasn't there, and he realized that was his wife under the bus.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, it was quick and short, but yeah, I don't know how to.
That's good, though. That's a good story, man.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that would be mean to write it.
Right, get inside his head, right?
He didn't reckon, obviously, you know what men are like. You guys don't even know what your wives wear on their feet from day to day. If he had paid attention, he would have known, oh my God, those shoes look like my wife's shoes, but obviously not. And he said he walked right past, saw this poor lady's legs sticking out from under the double-decker bus, and they're big buses. If they hit you, you're not really going to survive. And she'd gone right under the bus, and then he got home, and over, I don't know, maybe a few hours, he realized that actually was his wife under the bus. I was just sitting there staring at him like, Christ, that's horrible.
Yeah, that is horrible. That's crazy shit. Can't even imagine something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's why I can't see the thing. I was not at the bottom. So, Madam Raven, my hubby is a cop, so he's seen stuff like that, but not something I'd like to see. Yeah, I don't recommend seeing human beings get mangled at all to anybody, unless, you're a super freak. But I saw a guy get run over, hit by a good-sized pickup truck. Blind dude. Some of you guys know this story, has seen me over on the Clowns page for his horror therapy. I did a video on it. Blind dude, been walking around town his whole life. Blind, getting by, done fine. He had a job, all that shit. That one day, he didn't hear it coming. The guy driving didn't see him, and pow, he hit him, knocked him all the way across an intersection, right? And he was crushed up. I could tell as I ran up there that, he wasn't going to fare too well. Even if he did live, he wasn't going to be in good shape, right? The frame was all fucked up, right? Everything was out of place. And
his body.
The trippy. Yeah, his body, yeah. Now, the trippy part was, as I came walking up there, he looked right at me. And I mean, right at me, yeah? And followed me as I knelt down to get down there to talk to him, tell him he's all right, all that shit you do. And he was looking right at me, followed me down, and I took his hand and told him, hey, you're okay. You got in an accident, but we're going to take care of you. And he squeezed my hand, closed his eyes, and these 2 knots appeared on his forehead just that quick and got massive. And then you hear this, and all this dark, that arterial blood, right, that feeds the brain, just piles out there. And that was it. He lived 2 more days, I believe, and in a coma, he never regained consciousness, right? And I can't help but think he was blind, yes, but something happened in that wreck. I'm telling you, that motherfucker looked right at me. He was looking me right in the eyes. Wow. And I'm thinking, I can't stop thinking, fuck, am I the last thing and the only thing that fucking guy ever saw? God damn, that's terrible. You know what I mean? So, but I swear to you, he was looking right at me. And like I said, it wasn't like his eyes were open and I was in front of him. You can tell when somebody's looking at you, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was blind until he had finally closed his eyes, and I shifted my weight and kicked something, and it was his blind cane that he walks with. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he was still holding my hand and had a little bit of pressure on it. But as soon as those knots started up, he let go and he was out of there. At least he wasn't alone at that moment. Horrifying. Yeah, that would have been a fucking drag if nobody had been there. A lot of people can't hang with shit like that, and will stand off to the side and just watch it happen. But I was just never that way, Get in, do something, fuck, We're all here riding the same boat, right? So I would want somebody to come up and lie to me, like, oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'd be like, groovy. I thought I was fucked up, But,
I thought I was a goner.
Right. But yeah, I was glad to be there for him. But dude, later on, when I found, especially as I learned the whole story, this guy, he was like totally black. It wasn't like he was sight impaired, right? I mean, he could not fucking see. And I watched his eyes look at me and focus and follow me. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, something happened during that accident that jolted his eyes back in shape or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Maybe there's something more to it. I don't know. Whether there's a supernatural aspect, I don't know. I'm kind of a skeptic on that shit. I look for way solid proof. But something definitely caused that man to see me in his last moments of life here. So, yeah.
I actually saw that. I listened to it on the Clown's that horror thing he was doing.
It was
very, very moving.
Bleedingcritic.com.
Yeah.
Great website. Great website. He does fantastic work.
Yeah, crazy. At least he wasn't alone. At least he had somebody in his last moments. Can I just ask the audience if they're getting a delay from me? Can I just ask you guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Because looking
Say
at
whatever you like, lady.
No, I was wondering if there's a delay. Guys, is there a delay?
I think since it's going through my channel all at once and through our call, I think it's all hitting there at the same time.
You think so, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's count 1, 2, 3.
Oh, thanks, guys. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
That's such a sad story. Poor guy. Imagine if that's the first time you ever saw. Like
I think about that a lot.
Something. Maybe there's a blockage. That's why you couldn't see, and it unblocked it. And then for the first time, you saw another human being.
Right.
Oh, dying moments.
And it was me with hair to my ass and fucking 80s, man. I was like, what's that? But yeah, I think about that a lot. Am I the only thing he ever saw?
Yeah.
That's a trip if it is.
God, you've got some stories and a half. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was a head rush. It was definitely. My wife didn't deal with that. She was walking with me when that happened. And that's another thing, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was right next to me. She was not my wife at the time. She was my smoking hot girlfriend. But she did not deal with that well either. She doesn't remember very many of the details at all. She just, and that's the way her mind works with that super horrific shit. She just talked to the hand, pal. She doesn't register. She remembers it, but
I think because sometimes the mind just stops you from, it blocks that. Like when I saw the dog getting run over, I never really remember the impact. I just remember it rolling and its legs all kind of twisted and its back broken.
Yep.
And so sometimes the brain just basically shuts down at certain points.
Sure. That's a safety mechanism to stop you from tearing yourself apart. I mean, the mind can fuck you up. Here's another real life one, animal. Real life one. We call them speed goats out here. Antelope, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hauling trucks down in between where the farms are, where they grow wheat and all that shit now. Mm-hmm. And the fields are there. When I head into the town, I do my stuff. Coming back out of the town, the fields are gone. They've threshed them, right? Got mm-hmm. these giant threshers. It's a fucking lawnmower, right? But they're huge. And I'm coming back through there, and there's one of these speed goats laying on the side of the road, on the other side of the road. And he's just laying there. So I gave him a little honk on the horn, get him off the road. It's not a good place for him to be hanging out. And he tried to get up and then went back down. And I'm like, fuck, he got hit by a car. So I stopped my truck. It takes a minute. It's a truck. And I back up until I'm straight across from him. And I open my door and yell at him, hey. And he just sits there. So I know he's fucked up now, right? Grab my pistol out of the truck that I kept with me and go walking over there. I'm going to go put him down, because mm-hmm. They get hit by a car, right?
Yeah.
Well, I hit the middle stripe on the road and poof, he jumps up and takes off running. But he's been run over by that thresher and all 4 legs are cut the fuck off.
Oh,
and
my
he's
God.
Still running. I was like, holy shit. They're just hanging by skin, right? All 4 of them. And they're doing this number as he's on the stumps, just right
Oh,
here.
Jesus.
Right? And you can hear him digging into the ground as he's running away from me. I was pretty healthy back then, not near as fat, and I could move pretty good. And this motherfucker was pulling away from me on those stumps. I had to shoot him in the back just to tip him over so I could run up on him and shoot his brain. And he was still ready to fight. When I got up there close to him, he turned on me. He couldn't move now because I'd shot his spine, but his top half was still functional. And man, he was grinding his teeth and hissing at me like, fuck you, buddy. I was just like, you are a bad motherfucker, son. Pow! And I put him down. But holy shit. He was a fighter. Yeah, he was. Awesome. That's one of the toughest things I've ever seen. I was just like, holy shit. Because when he got up, I figured his legs were broke, right? Because that's what happens. But when he took off and they were just flipping out there behind, I was like, holy fuck, I've never. And you just react at the time, I just took off running behind him. I figured I could catch him. I figured I was going to get up alongside of him, do it right. But he was just, fucking bastard was pulling away from me. And
but to be honest with you, you do react very well, because I think I would have just stood there crying, oh my God,
Oh, yeah, I'd have freaked out.
As you know, in the UK, we all would have his sticks, but we don't have guns over here.
Right.
I wouldn't have been able to help the poor thing, but I would have been just traumatized. I wouldn't have been able to move.
Yeah, it takes a different kind of critter. Mr. Extremes, you have a good night. Thank you for showing up. No, sorry, you were here.
Thanks for dropping by.
Appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by. That was super awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
You had an accident. Are you okay now? Have you recovered fully, Madam Raven?
Oh, did I get way behind again? Oh, I did. I had an accident. I don't remember a lot about it. Yeah. I'll bet, madam, that happens to a lot of people. They don't remember getting hurt. Your brain turns that shit off. I'm cursed with, I remember all of it. Even like getting knocked out in fights and shit. People be like, yeah, this is what happened. And I'll be like, I know. I was there. But I remember most of my stuff. It's pretty rare I delete stuff. There's been a few things that have happened in my life that I deleted, but they were over the top fucked up, and I'm not going to discuss them. But yeah, we definitely have defense mechanisms that turn stuff on and off for us. Yeah, like that, incident where you're talking about, it's kind of numbing. You know what I mean? You see it, you register it, but you kind of detach from it, right?
The brain knows how much you can, as an individual, you can deal with, and I think certain people I don't know if it's due to exposure, but they can deal with a lot more. Maybe that's just the way they're built. And then there are others that they just can't, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just too horrific.
I know a guy I was in basic training with. He was a tough guy. I mean, a tough son of a bitch. And we had to do blood day. You go in and, you know, give a bag of blood for the cause, right? It's not mandatory, but you better, you know. So we're all in there in line, right? And we're heading in. This chick nurse comes by pushing a cart, right? And it's just layers and layers of blood bags hanging in there. Fucking homeboy, poof, down he goes. And I mean, this is a big unit. He's tough as nails. Will eat your bones, right? That fucking cart of blood went by, and he just flushed white, turns and looks at me and goes, out of the frame, baby. Down on the floor he went, man. And of course, we're in the hospital, right? You know, ish. So nurse come over, they help him out and everything, and he didn't have to get blood that day. But I literally, you could see his eyes lock on that cart and follow. Down he goes. Yeah. And that's people's constitution. I agree with that 100%. Strong people can be shut down by truly gory things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was coming home from a job I'd been out of state working, just getting on tonight, you know, it's twilight, but it was still plenty light out. And these two younger kids had hit a deer and it fucked their car up. It was a little tiny car, and it was a good sized mule deer, female. So she had took it pretty bad, broke her back. She couldn't move. It was over for her. But they don't know what to do. Like you were saying, you know, they're just standing there, staring at this deer is slowly dying. So we were right in town too. So for me, it wasn't really an option to haul out the big banger and poof, you know, because you get trouble for that in town, right? So I just went and grabbed a sledgehammer, right? And I get out in front of her and go like this, snap my fingers so she looks at this hand, and poosh, I gave her a good one right in the back of the brain cap. Bink. She goes down, and I came down right on top of her again, you know, because once again, I don't want her to hurt or nothing. I'm putting her down for mercy. So I follow her to the ground, pow, and hit her again. And this fucking kid that hit her lost his shit, right? He is... I'm sorry. He is jumping up and down like a pogo stick, spinning in a circle, going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Just totally losing his outfit. He had never seen anything like that in his life, I don't think. And he was already traumatized from hitting it in the first place. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're talking about with Constitution. Some people, the other kid took it pretty good. He turned away, especially on that second hit, but he didn't lose it. And that other kid I was worried about him for a few minutes. I was like, maybe you should sit down in my van for a second, dude. You know, but he was totally traumatized, more so by the hammer than he was by the wreck itself. But people's constitution can't take it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you did the right thing though, putting the poor thing out of its misery.
Yeah, she was done. There was no helping her. You know what I mean? She wasn't going to get up out of there.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, and she was just going to lay there and
suffer
until she died. There's no reason to do that if you know, if you have the ability to put something down, do it. You know.
I don't know how I'd deal with that kind of situation. I don't know. Even if I had,
I totally agree, but I'd have a hard time actually.
Yeah,
and it's also a confidence thing. I've killed shit before, and I knew that I could kill her with that hammer really quick. You know, it was an actual sledgehammer, a mini sledge. You know, like 3 pounds of steel. That's a dinger. They're going down. So that's part of it too. If somebody doesn't know how to kill something, that's where a lot of people too with shooting stuff. Most things that get shot by inexperienced people live because it hurts and everything. But if you still don't hit a vital organ or an artery, it's not going to die. You know, and that's another thing with a lot of movies. They like to play that pink, he's dead, pink, he's dead, pink, he's dead, you know. That's just not reality, man. People get shot 5, 6 fucking times and are still in pretty good shape. If they didn't
execution, I saw when they were shooting. Exactly. I mean, the firing squad, for Christ's sake, they kept on shooting him, and he was not going to die. And I think if he had died instantly, it probably would have been traumatic, but less traumatic than the way he was turning and as each bullet was hitting him. I'm like, Jesus, can you people not? You know, are you not trained to take someone out? You're a firing squad, for Christ's sake. But no, I don't know how many rounds they put in that poor guy before he finally gave up the ghost. You know, so yeah, it's not really realistic movies. You know?
Yeah, none of them really are. I mean, unless you hit the head, and even then, you got to knock it out. You know, it's got to hit the brain. People get shot in the face and live all the time. You know. Another true life horror, one of my longest friends in life, her brother laid down an alley behind her house and put a double barrel shotgun right here and pulled the trigger. But and I'm not laughing, it was a huge fuck up. Instead of looking down over the barrel to where it comes up this way, he was looking straight up and it blew his face off, and he's still alive to this day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. His operation to put his face back together was the only one of its kind when it happened. And this is decades ago. But his nose is his second toe. They used that bone for a bridge because this is all gone and he couldn't breathe. They just collected teeth and put them in there. It literally wiped all this off. Both of his eyes are perfect circles. They're about that far apart. They're just set in there. They don't even know how those survived. The one doesn't work too good, but yeah, she found him like that too. He'd been laying out there for hours.
Who was this person? Who was the guy?
It's one of my best friend's brother. It was her older brother. God. Yeah. He's still alive. Like I said, he's got fucking shotgun BBs in his brain. So
damn.
Yeah.
Well, folks, when
life is tough,
horror in real life, he's not joking.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, these are really horrific stories.
Yeah,
I got it.
He can smoke a joint through that fucking trach. That fucker's gone, right? So,
what are you saying, Auntie?
Oh, well, I mean, I got something to tell, but I mean, it's not really a story so much. But my grandfather, my Peepaw, I call him Peepaw. He witnessed the last hanging, or I guess the last execution that took place in our town. And it had to have been back like somewhere in the mid-30s, 1930s, because he was born in 1920. So he said he was a teenager, and he said he was just walking through town. He wasn't out to look at it, but he was going through town because he'd been partying all night or whatever. And he was a wild kid, my granddad. And he said as he was walking through town, he saw, there was something going on. He goes over and he sees it. And they hanged the guy. And he said he saw it. And I said, wow. I said, I guess you thought that was cool, a young guy like that. And he says, no, I was hungover. It kind of made me sick. Right. And then he goes, but I heard the neck pop. And he just gives me this grin like it was just the coolest thing.
Right.
And I heard the neck pop.
Right. Yeah. Can you imagine hitting the end of that rope and then not breaking, and you just get to fucking dangle there for a while? It's like
that would suck.
Well, back in the day, I don't know, way before any of us were born, they used to, when they'd hang someone, if they didn't die immediately, the relatives would hang off their legs to help them to help them their way. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, that's what to do. So yeah, so you better have some relatives around to help.
And a big one, right?
Yeah, bigger the better.
Yeah,
I want the biggest one hanging off of there. God damn it!
Invite Aunt Helen to my execution, please. She's like 300 pounds.
There you go. Exactly. Sit in my lap, doll. We're gonna drop together. You just hold on.
Yeah, you hold on. You'll be fine.
That's another thing. Past a certain weight, dropping and hitting the end of that rope to take the head off.
I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard of that happening.
I think there is a science behind that. I think they weigh you, and there
is a science. Absolutely. There's also a science where you place the knot and to get the body to turn to see the crowd, that kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
I'm like within.
You want a good presentation.
Yeah, you know, hundreds of years ago in England, they used to, well, in America, they used to burn witches, but yeah, they used to burn, I think it was during, oh God, Bloody Mary. She was called Bloody Mary. One of the Tudor queens. She used to execute a lot of Catholics. No, sorry, Protestants, because she was a Catholic queen, and they'd burn them, and relatives would throw, oh God, what would they throw? What, gunpowder on the fire to kill the relatives quickly.
Help it out a little bit.
Yeah, because you know burning is anyway, and
yeah, burning's got to be a trip.
Yeah,
bad one.
Especially if you do it right, you put them on a hill where the flames go away a little bit, so it climbs up the body without the smoke.
Oh God,
yeah.
And the guillotine, apparently, with the guillotine, the head can survive. I don't know, 5-10 seconds after decapitation.
Almost a minute or longer.
Because the blood is still in the brain. And
how long does it take you to suffocate?
I don't know. I never tried.
A couple of minutes. And that's all that's happening when your brain, because the brain is completely by itself. It does its own thing.
It's got blood.
The rest of the body is just a life support system.
Yeah.
So when it gets cut off, especially if it's clean and quick, yeah, you get to lay there and think about it for a few minutes.
I've read that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have lungs.
Well, I read one of the Henry VIII's wives that got decapitated. I don't remember if it was Anne Boleyn or Catherine of Aragon. It was one of them. But when the executioner held her head up, like they always did that, they'd hold her head up to the crowd. People said that they could see her lips moving.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Right?
Yeah. And they one executioner slapped her face. I think this is in France. And her cheeks blushed.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Say that again.
He held up her head and he slapped her face, and her cheeks flushed, like
bitchin'. Bitchin'. That's cool.
What a horrific.
That's savage. She gets decapitated, bitch slapped at the same
right?
time almost.
It never ends. It never ends.
And her cheeks flushed. She probably felt that shit.
Yeah, those nerves are still active. Yeah, so she felt it.
But you must be in shock. But let's be realistic. You must be in shock by the time your head's cut off. Right?
Once again, down to Constitution, I guess. But even in shock, you're there.
I love you too, madam.
That would definitely be a trip. Oh, I'm off again on other shit.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, but it's interesting. I don't know. I find torture. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not creepy, but I find what man, the things that man has invented in order to cause the most exquisite suffering to his fellow man it's horrifying, but yet fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, right, I could tell from that story you wrote that we did together that you've done your research on those torture instruments. I mean, I've seen stuff about them too, like that bull and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of crazy shit that humans come up with to fuck each other up. But that's too where like the guillotine itself, that's a fairly merciful outfit. I mean, that's quick as fuck. Or a battle axe, you know, that's probably a pretty good way to get her done. Right? But yeah, it's better than being shot 37 fucking times, I'm sure.
Yeah, I reckon. How much do you think it would hurt to get blown up? like
Yeah,
like
right?
Ghost Mummy's full character.
Right. But I think something like that, I don't know, it would distort everything so fast.
Yeah.
I think it would just be gone. I think it would just be gone.
I think that would
You don't think he'd feel the fire first or anything?
Unless you fucking lived through it.
No, that would suck.
That would suck.
It properly. I don't think you'd feel it. Quickest way to, so let's get really macabre here. If you were going to be executed, what would your preference be? I give you any choice.
Gosh. Getting tore up by a wild animal would be pretty cool. Like a bear.
You can keep that one. I'll go to the gas chamber.
Not a shark, though. No fish. I would prefer it to be a mammal or a solid reptile, like a saltwater crocodile. That'd probably be pretty.
You want to salt a crocodile? They're so. Do you know what they do to you? Do you know what they do to you? Crocodiles.
Yeah. They grab you and get you in the water, spin your ass around, and shove you under a log, tenderize your ass.
Their larder underwater. No, thank you. No.
You know it'd be a rush, though, right?
You might even be alive in its larder for a little bit, you know. Oh my god, no.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Just
That's
being instantly killed by a human, I'm not down for that.
President said he would like a stab by a metal pin in the base of his neck. Madam Raven's injection would be easiest.
That's a quick one, McFuzzface. That's instant.
Is it? Okay, I'm thinking.
Yeah, you hit the.
What about lethal injection?
Right at the,
I hear that.
Lethal injection was probably a trip because you get high as fuck. But what if it doesn't work?
Okay, I can't decide. There's so many delicious ways to go. I can't. I really don't want to. Okay, I asked the question, so I have to answer.
Yes, you do.
Gosh, I don't know. You know. I don't know.
Slowly lowered feet first into a vat of acid.
Suffocation, maybe?
Oh,
no, not suffocation.
Ooh, I wouldn't want suffocation. That would suck.
Crazy Ralph, electric chair. Just thinking about that.
Pick it up on here.
I don't know about nowadays, but in days gone by, apparently, if they didn't put enough water on, they used to put this. Oh God, I know too much about this. They used to have these sponges that they put on your head.
Oh yeah, did you see the Green Mile?
Yeah, and maybe that's right. Yeah, and if you put a dry sponge or it's not got enough water, it will cook you.
Yeah, they cooked the guy alive.
No, not electric chair. I'll come back to that one. I'll have to think about it because I'm a bit of a coward. It'll have to be the maybe Madam Raven's is a good one. Gas chamber, but not if I'm tied down waiting for execution. The anticipation would kill me alone. So not that one. Maybe Fuzzums to the base of my neck. Yeah.
Okay. I lost audio totally when that thing died. I gotta get this.
Oh, did you lose us? Are we back?
Hello.
Right. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can't hear you, so. Oh my gosh. Ignore me.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Manimal?
I can hear you, Auntie. I can't hear Manimal.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet.
Nice.
I couldn't hear you guys either, but now I can.
I was just dithering about my execution.
Nice. Yeah, I think though if you're going to get executed by humans, firing squad would be all right with me. Yeah, why not? I've been poked once; it didn't hurt too bad.
Where?
Plausible deniability makes it impossible to answer that question.
No,
so,
where were you shot?
In the leg. I got hit in the leg.
And it didn't hurt?
It hurt. But it didn't hurt way bad. You know what I mean? It wasn't like what you would think, I guess. I definitely had my preconceived idea of it was way worse than the actuality of it. But yeah, it wouldn't be too bad unless it was that cat you saw getting blasted to fuck, That would be not so cool. That happened last time in Utah, only in the 80s or 90s. Instant death, nerve center. Yeah, and true, Fuzzy, true. What are we talking about? That happened in the... What's the matter, Raven? I got lost on the chat again. Green Mile was a great fucking movie. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I sat and cried in a damn theater when I saw it. I went to the theater and sat there just bawling all by myself.
Oh, Firing Squad in the 80s or 90s in America?
Yeah.
You have you can.
Yeah, you can still. Some states you can pick your execution still. Texas, you can still get hung if you want. They've got a pretty good record for electric chair. Florida's record sucks. Their chair is a piece of shit. It fucks up all the time. Be lighting motherfuckers on fire.
Damn.
Old Sparky is in bad shape. And I don't know, they may have fixed it by now, but that was the old word there for a long time. It was bad. I read the movie, then saw the movie. Right on.
Book Green Mile, and it was a lot better than the movie, I have to say.
I read the book first, so I knew how it was going to end, but I still cried because it was just so sad.
Yeah, it was. He was just trying to be a good guy.
Yeah, he was trying to help. That's what was so sad. He kept saying, "I just wanted to help."
Right. I couldn't help it.
Couldn't help. Yeah. Yeah, and he said I couldn't help it, and everybody thought he meant, "Oh, I couldn't help myself, but kill him," But
a bit more specific.
He just meant he couldn't help the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a bummer for him, but it made for a good movie.
Oh yeah, real good movie.
Yeah, and books are always better because it's your own mind doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A movie takes that away from you. It shows you that this is what it looks like. This is what it does, right? Where it's your own brain. You ever read a book called Zombie?
No.
It's written by a lady, and you want to talk a just wonderfully disturbing story. It's really quite disturbing. Let me find her name. I'm terrible at remembering anything anymore. I've taken to zip up shoes because sometimes I just can't remember how to do it.
I'll be back in a second, guys. Just give me a minute. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, you bet, lady. Take your time.
Okay.
Hello, Cat Bunny Cat. Love your name.
I'm off the chat again, obviously. I'll be back. I'm looking at No. The book is called Zombie. God damn it. We go dead quiet and just sit waiting for her.
I know, right? Why are we so quiet?
I'm looking for that fucking book. I'm getting pissed. I can't find it. The book is called Zombie, right? And a girl wrote it, and it is brutal. It's about a serial killer-ish kind of guy, but I can't remember her name. And I'm pretty sure it's just zombie. Let's search a book.
Oh,
we're dead. It's dead fucking air. It's like,
I know, right? Dead air.
Hurry, ghost, come back. Fuck. Yeah, I cannot find that book. It's an oddball book anyway. It's not, it's not well known by any means. Damn. My goddaughter tell me right now her name, everything about it. It's crazy. But yeah, it is about a serial killer guy. Kind of. I don't want to destroy the story, but I'll shoot it out on my Twitter page when I find out what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. It's hardcore. I loved it. All right. Yeah, not getting anything on my search either. Crazy.
I'm reading a book by Stephen King that he put out back in 2015. It's a book of short stories of his called The Bazaar of
Go ahead.
Bad Dreams.
The Bazaar of Bad Dreams?
Yeah.
Short stories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
got
got
it's
that
real
one.
good. I bought it.
Almost.
But go ahead.
I was just going to say I have read almost everything he's written. I'm just not confident saying everything because there may be something out there I don't know about, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so you read that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason I bought it was because of that story. I heard that he had done a short story based on that real life horror, since we're talking real life horror, about that woman back in 2008 or 2009. She plowed head on into, she was going the wrong way on a freeway or something, and killed everybody. She had a van full of kids. Her kids, her nieces. She killed, there was these 3 old men in this SUV, I think, that she plowed into, killed all of them. And anyway, the toxicology reports came back saying she was drunk as hell. Said she had like the equivalent of 10 drinks in her. Plus, she must have smoked like 10 doobies. And her family was like freaking out because they were like, look, there is no way she would do that. She would not drink and drive with those kids. She was known for being, this great mother and would never do anything. Yeah, she wasn't known to be a drinker. She did smoke pot like before she went to bed at night, big deal sometimes. But everybody was saying, no, there's no way she'd tank up on all this shit. I mean, everybody that knew her. So my brain always goes to the damn supernatural when something don't make sense. But I couldn't believe it when I heard that Stephen King had wrote a story based on that. So I'm like, all right, I couldn't wait. I wanted to see where his mind went. And of course, the story was just, I mean, it was a good story, what he wrote, but it was generic. It didn't answer anything. I mean, it was all, right. I mean, it was like the women in this story, they were known drinkers. I mean, it was, okay, right. What are you trying to solve? Nothing. I don't solve anything. So
exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah. And that's something too, that things that don't make sense, now you have to ask yourself, did something different happen here? What caused her to drink that day? Or was she deceitful and a constant drunk? And she was so good at hiding it, nobody knew. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's the way my brain works. Anything like that, I just start picking the.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've heard all the logical theories and everything, and it's like, I don't know. It just don't all fit. I mean, yeah, there's the deceit part. I mean, that's possible, but it's like, I don't know if you would think she couldn't deceive everybody to where everybody seemed to think she was just this wonderful mother who would never do such a thing. And
right.
It's, you know, unless everybody was full of shit, you know, which is possible too. It's possible too.
Very possible. I've never been to a funeral of an asshole. Have you?
Right.
Motherfucker, you're sitting there
That's true. That's true.
What are you talking about? Frank? That motherfucker laying right there? Shit.
Listen, I'm addicted to true crime shows. And oh yeah, really bad. But you can always tell by the way, like when they're introducing the characters and they're not telling you who got killed first, you know, or anything. And when they start talking about one character and they're like, oh my God, they were the most wonderful person in the world. Oh, she was so fun. Oh, he was so full of life, you know, and it's like, okay, that's the one that got killed. I mean, you just know, because that's the only people they talk about like that, you know.
Right.
It's like only the good were ever murdered, you know.
Shady motherfuckers. Yeah. And that's the same way with funeral. You know, everybody talks about, I've left instructions with my people. Don't sugarcoat my fucking life and don't tell everybody what a wonderful human being I was. Be honest, you know. Be straight up. Be straight up. Nobody has to hide around me fucking. I know I'm a fucking monster sometimes. I know I've done fucked up shit. And, yeah, don't sugarcoat it. Get in there and do some drinking and smoking and listen to some heavy metal and toss me in the ground and get the fuck on with your lives, you know? All the victims in true crime shows are saints. That's a fact, Eric.
Exactly. That's what I say. Everybody's like, oh my God, only these sainted people get murdered, you know?
Exactly. That's because the devil's real and stuff, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
If he was, I'd be hanging out with him. I could never find him. But yeah, we tend to do that though. You know, it's like like these moms that have their kids get killed, right? Mm-hmm. No matter what, it was the greatest kid, and she was the greatest mom too. You know, and it's like, God damn, come on. Everybody can't be that. Everybody can't be perfect. God damn. Here lies Manimal. He froze women to death.
Just one. Just one.
the one we know about, right?
Yeah.
The ice cream man. That's right. Right. I relax.
Friends.
That's right. Both times we've been married ended up fucked up, lady. We just have to we just should stay friends. Every time we get married, the one time the whole goddamn planet died. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, that's right. Hey, but we went down fucking shooting though. That was cool.
Fucking hey, lady. That's right. We were banging them out. Sons of bitches didn't get nothing fucking free that day. Hell yeah.
That was a good story. Damn, that's still one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like doing it.
Which story is that? Sorry, I got a bit lost because I went off for a little bit.
It's called A Requiem for Mankind, and it's on my channel.
That's right. It's a good one.
It's got Manimal. We play a married couple, and it's got black-eyed blonde. She's amazing. She plays this Molly, and she's like, well, never mind. You'll have to hear it. It's got what was that? Andy. She played an old lady, and she was amazing. And Tracy fucking sang. She sang in it. Yes, she was amazing. I mean, that Too Many Stories have a musical number in it.
Yeah, that's great. Tracy is the owner of ScreamRadio.com. For those of you who do not know, it looks like everybody in the chat already knows, though I'm betting. But if anybody actually takes the time to get this fucking far into this bullshit later on, Tracy is fucking groovy. Follow her up too. She is a hardworking soul, that girl. But yeah, she also makes her own music, and you can also hear her in the background of a couple of my episodes. And that's another thing I'm going to start doing regular on my series, introducing music, different people. I've got 2 guys right here in my hometown that one of them can play guitar like you wouldn't fucking believe. And he totally wants to do work for our show. So I'm going to put him in there. He's going to be background, and he's going to do a couple of titles for me. So I'll have my own theme song going on both of my series. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's what I'm going to start doing in all of them that I do in Two-Way Mirror is give people a chance to be heard. Yep.
That's really good.
But Tracy's Tracy's awesome. She's great. And she has her own channel and everything. So if you guys have not, get in there and sub her up. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it was a cool story how I got her to sing for my story, because the part was supposed to be a choir of singers, and in the story it had the lyrics to what they were singing. It was real short, didn't even rhyme. It was really terrible lyrics. But yeah. But when I'm reading back over the story, see, I wanted to give a part to everybody in Scream. And so far, I hadn't really found a part for her yet. And then I'm like reading through that, and I'm like, well, I ain't singing that. The hell, I'll just have to say that. And I'm like, what am I saying? I know a singer, and I need a part for her. So I right away, linked her to the story. I said, could you please do this? And I said, it's asking a lot, but if you could, would you sing it? I know the lyrics are terrible and all that. And I'll be damned if she didn't send me a recording of it sounded like a real freaking song.
No, I've got to listen to that. It sounds really intriguing. Madam
Raven, it was so good.
I don't know if she's gone, but she said she's going, Madam Raven.
Oh, I didn't see her say that. Well, if you're still in here, madam, bye-bye. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, the chat again. I blew it, right? Oh, yeah.
I didn't do that time. I was busy running my mouth.
Yep, that's how it works. All right. That's great. She said this is her favorite one. Awesome. That's great.
Pretty good.
It has been a pretty good one. Been very lively. And, yeah, we've had a good run. And what is that? I'm still going through shit on my computer, too. I suck at this. I really need to get more techie on this stuff. We got some retweets on that. Hell yeah. Right on. I haven't even looked how many people we got.
Yeah, it's still fairly early over here. I mean, I know it's getting late for Ghost Money, but...
Oh, my God. It's Saturday morning.
It's
Lady Ghost.
It's almost 4 o'clock a.m., 4 a.m., but I'm cool.
You still going strong, lady?
Yeah, I got coffee and I had a nap beforehand. So
yeah,
I'm a night owl anyway.
Cool.
She's a nut. She's a trooper, dude. I'm telling you. I've been shocked more than once on here. I'll be like,
I know.
Well,
I'll be sitting here and it's fucking late for me to be online, and fucking there she is. She'll pop on. Hey, what's up, Manimal? I'm like, holy fuck, lady, you are up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, trooper. And most of the time it's when she's doing work. She's in there editing and stuff.
God, this
and she's either writing or putting a story together, or she's working on a video. I mean, she's a trooper. She's a machine.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Eric says this is
Eric.
The first live stream he's watched for more than 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm glad we're entertaining. I try to keep it where it's at least entertaining in what we're talking about. You know what I mean? And that's why I went with real life horror, because I mean that covers so many subjects. My first dog that we had to put down, horrific. You know what I mean? You're just like a little dude, you know, and you're like, hey, what's going on? Blam! Oh shit!
Oh, jeez.
It's like, dude, what happened to Ruff? Ruff got his head blowed off, son.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But it's no longer a virgin. Ha, Cat. Cat's a nut too. She's great. If you guys don't follow her, she is on Twitter as well. And just a groovy little soul, that one. She is cool people. She is cool people. Everybody on this feed, anybody on here that is not following everybody else, do so now. Yeah. We'll wait. All good people that is on here. Remember, Ralph was on our last one, Jason, the troll. Guys, remember the troll?
I do. I remember that.
Remember?
That was funny.
Fucking idiot. He didn't realize where he was at. He jumps in.
You ended up like educating him or something. I remember you.
Yeah. I like to put the best way to handle a troll is just calm, cool, collected, give them the facts. Who they are, what they're doing. I mean, you can't argue it. The trolls are douchebags, and they know they're douchebags. This particular troll was just stabbing out there, looking to get in a fight with somebody, and we did not oblige him. We made him look stupid, which wasn't difficult. But, there was no aggression or anything. We just talked him out, and he ended up staying, did he not, Auntie?
I think he ended up getting friendlier and staying. I think so. Yeah,
I think he did. I think he ended up staying for the whole thing, and even told us bye when we were signing off. He was like, "You guys have a great night." I was like, "Yeah, you too. Go back under your bridge and keep warm, you little."
Well, I remember we were trying to figure out how to kick somebody out, and we couldn't figure it out, and we were joking about it, like right in front of him.
Yeah, exactly, because I really couldn't. I wanted to get on the trigger there in case I did have to drop his ass, but I couldn't figure out. I still don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it either. I don't know how you make a moderator or anything.
I have no clue. Obviously, I can barely get this fucking thing going. But yeah, old Ralph was there. Who else was there in there? We had 5 or 6 in that room that night too. God damn. Yeah, it was funny.
This Mummy, was that not the night you were there? Or I could be thinking of another one.
That when William was on and Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his birthday party. I remember that one. Yeah,
yes, I remember him, and he was being rude to William. Is that the guy?
Yeah. He started off on William and just started moving around, trying to pick a fight with anybody, you know. So I focused on him for a few minutes and straightened the lad out, told him the way of the world. And he responded, as most of them do. And he even said, you know, that he was miserable and shit. And that's why he does what he does. And I was like, that's true for most of your kind. And all you got to do is not be that, man. Fucking, and that's to any trolls that may see this later on. Don't be a fucking troll. It's a douchebag move. And you'll find that the world is a lot fucking easier to get by on if instead of telling people, fuck you, stop by and say, hey, how are you? I've met a lot of groovy people on Twitter, and that's a fact. Yeah. Just by being polite and saying hi to folks. Hey, how are you today? You know?
Yeah. People
respond to that, man. They like that. Be nice. Some of my friends on there have turned into real life friends, you know. You guys all know me pretty well. We hang out regular, you know, and it's just a better world when you're nice. You know what I mean? And I'm not even really nice, to be perfectly honest. I'm not necessarily a good guy, but You don't have to be a great human being to be fucking polite. You know what I mean? Exactly. Just be nice. Smile at folks. If they say hi back. I mean, we got so many people that, I don't know, that play this tough guy role all the time, you know, and that's what it is to be a badass and shit. It's not. Trust me, I can smash a motherfucker in the face, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. You don't have to be fucking rude. Rude is not tough. Our culture is somehow turned into that tough guys are thugs, right? And doesn't have to be the case. A strong fighting type guy can be a cool person still. You don't have to be a douche to be strong or a tough guy. I found you on Twitter, Kat. Sweet goes. Yeah, Kat's awesome. She's a great person. And so is Ghost.
Thank
Kat Ghost. Ghost Cat.
Twitter. The thing about being a troll online is that I wonder if they'd be so brave in real life.
I guarantee not.
I beg your pardon?
I agree with that 100%. That's why they do what they do online, because real life, you know, people don't talk to other people like that very often. You know what I mean?
And also, it's probably they have a powerlessness in real life. They don't have any effect, or they're just miserable, basically, and they feel, you know, they just wouldn't do it in real life. You know, they wouldn't have the option to do it in real life. They can hide.
Yeah,
it's a
very few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's safe. It's like people who flip you off in their car, right? They feel safe. They do it because they feel safe. If they were walking by me in the forest, I'll bet they wouldn't flip me off. No, you know what I mean? So I live that way, though. If I wouldn't do it right to somebody's face, then I'm not doing it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and especially with the troll thing online, it's just a weakness. It's just, what is your end goal here? You know what I mean? You win an argument, you make somebody cry. Okay, good for you. Right on. You're a fucking hero. Right on, you know? It's just senseless. It's a senseless act. Bunny Cat, 1962. Indeed.
Manimal, there was a story you told me. You just said the word forest and it triggered something in my mind. There was something you said. I asked you some time ago if you'd ever had if you'd seen a Bigfoot or a dog man or something. Mm-hmm. No, but I did see something in the forest.
Yeah.
Talking about real life. Do you want to share?
Yeah. We saw a mist, right? And not unusual in the forest, right? In the mountains, especially. The river throws them off, you know, if it's cool and the sun hits it a little bit, you'll get that fog. We're up, you know, the mountains, you get literal clouds, right, coming through. So
yeah,
it wasn't strange to see a mist, but it was fucking strange to have it follow us. Like, follow us up, down, across. It was pretty strange. I have no explanation for it whatsoever.
So it was just a white mist, just a white mist.
Yeah, like a cloud, like that dark cloud mist, you know, like a dark rain cloud, right? And it would fluctuate from a darker color to a lighter color as it moved. I don't know what it was.
Was it near the ground or was it higher up in the tree?
No, it was lower to the ground at the same level we were. So just off the ground. I have no explanation. And that's where, again, I say I'm a little bit skeptical. I've seen shit I can't explain. And that was one of them. I have no explanation for it because it was following us. There's no two ways about it. Not that it looked like it was following us or could have been interpreted that it was following us. And followed us for quite a ways and felt weird. When you would look back at it, it made me uncomfortable. And that's, again, where I've had a lot of people talk about Sixth Sense not being real. Come on, man. I dare say you can't find a woman that has felt a creepy man looking at her before she turned around and saw said creepy man looking at her, right?
Yeah.
That's a sixth sense, period. Period. You are detecting something from elsewhere, not using your basic five, right? Just like in the forest, a mountain lion watching your ass, you know. Even if you can't see said kitty cat, you can feel said kitty cat. That's sixth sense. So I believe that's proof enough that there's more to everything than what we know. Simple as that.
I agree totally.
Yeah.
So if there is a scientific explanation for a dark mist following me and this cat, then I'd like to hear it, because it was following us. Like I said, up, down, on the trail, off the trail. It stayed with us 10 to 15 feet away from us. And if we stopped and approached it, it went away. But it stayed that distance. So, yeah, it was trippy. It was trippy. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was something.
I'll have to look it up on the internet, see if anybody else has had a similar experience.
Yeah, it's probably something worth looking up into.
Investigating.
Now, that's another thing. I live right down the road from a ghost town that you can hear people talking inside the building that nobody's in. And I've experienced that one. Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now, I also kick that around all the time too. Is it little tears in time and space that we can see in that crack, but we can only see that little time frame, and that's why it's the same noises all the time? Or ghosts are seen doing the same thing all the time? Like, she walks to that window and stands there. Then she walks to that window and stands there. Then she walks to that, right? So is that just a fucking electric or magnetic loop in time?
Yeah.
Or an imprint in time that was so powerful or so regular and over and over again that it's somehow like how you burn your screen, right? If you leave the same thing on it for so long. Is it that? Or is it an actual spirit? I don't know if souls exist in the sense of what we say a soul is. But I do know that science has no idea where we originate, what consciousness is. They can tell you the physicality of your brain and how it makes all the shit work, but nobody really knows where we come from, right? There's also some crazy stories about reincarnation that are hard to ignore if you give them time and listen to it the way it is, right? Little kids that know different languages, right? Little kids that there's the ones about this kid that said he was a World War II pilot that was shot down, blah, 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 knew the names of his squadron mates, all this crazy shit. And when the mother and father finally researched it, the kid was dead on with names, who they were, where they died, how they died, what part of the ocean their planes went down in. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. So what is that? I don't know. But I know that it's a story that's told as far back as we can see. People talk about that kind of thing. So maybe there is something to it, you know? Just like Bigfoot and shit. I've never seen one, but I'm telling you, there's people out here that fucking will swear to it. And a lot of the natives, it's commonplace to them. They think you're stupid for not believing it. You know, so yeah, that's crazy. All right, Fuzzums, we'll see you, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye,
truly.
Fuzzums.
Yeah.
So
everybody, thank you.
Where Fuzzums is 5 o'clock.
I just happened to look out the window while you was talking, and it's snowing like a bitch out here.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, as a matter of fact, I think we're gonna probably call this here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
I got to get in and hang out with Pretty Wife. I haven't seen her much. Ooh, Kim Vandervoort. How's it going? I did not see you pop on. Sorry. I'm terrible with the chats. Everybody knows that. Cat, she bounced. I didn't see her go. God, I suck at this game. Let's see. Amphusums is bouncing or already has bounced. Ralph's still in the game.
Ralph is still here.
Long time.
Oh, he'll go down with the ship.
That's right. That's right. He is grooving. He's always here for us. Yeah, he's been a great supporter of Scream Radio from the beginning. Like I said, he's always there. Everything we do, he's right there with us.
I have to check out more of his stories. Does Ralph write a lot? Ralph, do you write a lot? Do you? I'm intrigued by his stories. I need to follow him on Reddit. Does he have more stories on Reddit?
Yeah, I think he posted a couple more, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody too that's on Reddit, shoot me a DM with your info. I just now got it. Okay. And I don't even know how to fucking use it yet. So, but yeah, if you send me your stuff, and I'm going to start dropping some of my short stories on there that nobody has seen before.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I find most of my stories on Reddit. That's where I find most of them.
All right, Ralph, I'm going to find you there. I'm going to have to find Manimal as well.
Yeah, I don't even know what I called myself.
The Reddit audience are ferocious. They take no prisoners, you know.
Good. That's good for training.
I'm scared of Reddit. That's why I don't post my stories there.
Yeah, fuck the haters, though, lady. You know what I mean?
They terrify me.
Yeah, I've read some of the comments on some of the stories, and of course, I don't read them all, but I've never run across one that's like outright mean. I mean, they don't hold back on the critiquing. You know, they do. But it I don't know. They seem kind of friendly. What I've seen, it's more like constructive kind of criticism.
Guess who I am?
Oh, you suck.
Right. I'm Mad Manimal on Reddit. Weird.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Well, I'm on Reddit, but I haven't uploaded anything. I mean, I got an account.
I have not either. I got it like a couple of days ago. Like I said, I don't even know how to. I'll have to figure out how to
send me a link, then I can. Is it one word, Mad Manimal? I don't know if I'm going to find you.
Yep. Capital M's on both of them, but it's one word.
No, I think you're going to have to send me a link. There you are. Is that you? I will love you forever.
That's probably not me.
Yeah.
No, that was with I will love you forever featuring Mad Manimal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the story. Ha!
Yes.
Yes. That's the
ice Crazy cream Ralph is here, so I found him.
The ice cream man story.
I followed.
That's what I am on Reddit, right there in the chat.
So I followed Ralph, and then posted. Oh, that was posted by Crazy Ralph. Okay, so I followed Ralph. So no, I haven't found you yet, Manimal.
Oh, okay. So the story, the video, link to the video is posted there?
Yeah, Ralph posted that. So I found him and I followed him. So send me a link, Manimal, and then I'll join you. I'll add you or follow you.
Okay.
Rather, yeah.
Can you?
Oh, look, Ghost Mummy. Your friend, the Odd Web, is here. Hi, Odd Web.
Yes, Odd Web. I see him. He's been quiet. He hasn't said much. Oh, he just to post PewDiePie memes. Do you like PewDiePie, Odd Web? Are you a fan of his? He's quite big. You're welcome, Ralph. He is quite big.
I like PewDiePie, but I liked him better back in the day when he would like play those games. He was so funny because he'd cuss in Swedish.
Who are we talking about? I'm lost.
No, I don't think you know him.
PewDiePie.
Okay.
He's like the world's biggest YouTuber.
Oh, is that right? Well, he's probably doing pretty well then.
He's got like 100 million subs or something.
100 million?
Yeah. He's close to it if he ain't there yet.
Wow.
I think I know he did. Like he would play video games, right? And talk about them how he played them, right? Yeah, I've heard of that cat. My son was
telling me. Peeps, have a look at the odd website. YouTube channel. Follow him if you like his odd videos. Very odd, very dark. Some of them are. He does memes now, really. Oh, okay.
I don't know if this is the right link or not. Ha! Tell you what, I will send it.
Yeah, Twitter, you can put it on. Send anything on Twitter.
Whoever's on top here.
Or in the chat.
Ghost Mummy. I'm sending you a link to your DM, Ghost.
Okay, thank you.
And tell me if it's the right one.
Okay.
I think it is. But as you know, I am inept.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I see you, yeah.
Grooved-em.
Put you in the...
So, yeah, I should be able to drop that in here, right? Because I'm the guy.
Yeah, send me a link to your Reddit, too. I might be, like, hitting you up to narrate some of your stories.
Okay.
Right on. It should be on there in the chat. I don't know if it's a live link or not. I know there was something about links not working in here, blah, blah, blah. But I'll send it to your DM too, Auntie.
Okay.
Blah. You got it.
Oh, right on.
Right on, right on.
Right on, right on.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I'm off.
Yes. I think we got a great one.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Myself. I was really nervous because I don't do that many live streams, but
you did fantastic. Yay.
Thank you. I enjoyed myself immensely. Thanks for coming by, peeps.
You bet, Ron.
Enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks all you guys for stopping by. That was awesome. And we will be doing it again soon, like I said, and we're going to do it a little earlier. Maybe we'll bust one out in the morning, Auntie. And that way the UK crowd can get a better view on us without falling asleep, right?
Yeah, I could stream in the morning. I don't see why not.
Hell yeah. Just pound coffee and get baked. But yeah, good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man.
Cruising by. Yeah, you bet, lady. Anytime. Like I said, you did great.
Thanks very much.
And, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like I said, next time we'll pump it up a little more and plan it out a little better so that we can advertise it, maybe get some more folks on here. But everybody that did show up, fuck yeah. Thank you much. And
thank you.
Glad you guys did have a good time. We don't want to do it if it's boring. So that's good to hear that we're doing it right. And everybody have a great night. Sleep and dream well. Be safe. Hug your loved ones, man. Life is short. It's precious. If you love someone, tell them, right? Hug everybody all the time. Smile at strangers. Be groovy, God damn it. Ralph, good night. You have a great night. Eric, thank you for stopping by, man. That was groovy seeing you here. Oddweb, thank you. I don't think I am subscribed to you, sir. And Oddweb, let's see if I can go there. I will have to check that out. I'll follow everybody on here that I am not subbed with. But I'll go through and make sure I hit everybody up. But yeah, thank you, folks. That's the end of this broadcast. We are going to bounce out. And like I said, we will plan out another one, get it taken care of here pretty soon.
Good night.
I'm not a person. I'm a poster. Oddweb is a poster. Well, you're a very articulate poster. Never had one speak so much. But groovy. And yes, thank you. Good night.
Okay.
And everybody have a great day. Mm-hmm. I'll figure out how to shut this fucking thing off.
Night, everybody.
Night.